Hello, everyone. You're listening to the I Go With Ego podcast, bringing you guests with first-hand experience in studying abroad and seasoned personalities excelling in the workforce. We want you to own your journey and be the best you can be. Now presenting your host, Ego Kelly Ekakite.
Hi everyone, welcome to the I Go With Ego podcast, the number one podcast in study abroad where inspiration meets action. Today I have a very special guest all the way from Sweden, Cassandra Ayodele. Cassandra, welcome to the I Go With Ego podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Ego. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, it's an honor to have you here. Thank you so very much. So without wasting much time, let me say this. So tell my audience something about you, something exciting, something they want to know about who Miss Cassandra Ayodele is.
Hello everyone, my name is Cassandra Ayodele. I would say first and foremost, I am a clinical anatomist, a biomedical researcher and nutrition coach, but most people actually know me as the nutrition coach. So I love everything food. I'm a big foodie, and because of that, I take nutrition seriously. And something from about me, I think I don't joke with my sleep. I love my sleep a lot.
Nice.
It's also very important. What else? The first child of my parents. I have 3 siblings, and I'm married, and I have a little baby of 7 months. So
Hey.
it's it's really been fun, motherhood and all. But yeah, we're coping.
Well, I want to say congratulations for baby. I hope everyone is good over there.
Yes, they're all fine.
Absolutely. One thing I think I have to learn from you is sleep, because I barely sleep 6 hours or 5 hours. Like it's weird. In America, you have to all the time on the move, but I guess I'll have to learn to get to sleep more a little bit. But yeah, where are you at the moment, and what's the biggest surprise you faced when you moved to the new country?
I'm currently in Lidköping, Sweden. It's I think 3 hours by train away from Stockholm, the capital. So it's the 4th largest city in Sweden. And it's a beautiful place. It's like where the defense and military base is located in Sweden, actually. So it's they have a lot of security and all that. I would say my biggest surprise in Sweden was the extreme seasonal differences coming from Nigeria, where the day is day, night is night. But in Sweden, it's totally different. During the winter, we have more darkness. And that's why a lot of people, tend to be really reserved. I think that's one of the reasons for me. That's what I think, but I don't know about everyone. And then going from nearly 24 hours of daylight in the summer and, to just a few hours in the winter, it's kind of like it was more impactful than I expected. I did not expect that at all. I know before coming to Sweden, I read about some things, but experiencing it during the summer, you have more daylight. And, during the winter, it's totally the opposite. So I think that was the most surprising thing of all.
Yeah, for me that would be scary, to see that short days and everywhere is dark. But I think that's what makes the world special. Wherever you find yourself, there's something unique about the place, and so it's all about adapting to where you find yourself, but not changing the culture, but adapting to where you're in, using the culture you have to fit into this new place. Now, when people travel abroad or go to a new location, there are lots of challenges they face. It could be exciting challenges, it could be tough challenges. So what was the experience for you?
It was actually a mix. It was mixed emotions, actually. Excitement and the question of, how am I going to handle the shift? Because there is actually a big shift, regardless of whether you move from a country to another country, state to another state. There's always going to be that shift, and you have to adapt with it. I'll start with the exciting part. It was meeting new people, experiencing the new cuisines, because I love food. So I was really excited about trying the new food, trying the new snacks. There's a very popular snack in Sweden. It's called kannebole. It's cinnamon rolls, and it's really nice, and they love like going out, having coffee and just talking with someone, maybe a friend, and trying out different things. The challenging part was definitely the language.
Sure.
Sweden they speak English, perfectly, it's fine, but the official language is Swedish. And I wouldn't say in a funny way, it's actually good. It's nice. They cherish the language so much that if you don't know how to speak Swedish, to an extent, you might feel a little bit out of the scenery. It will look like you're lost for the first time. And not to sound like we're coming from a totally different area, but yes, it's different. In Sweden, the process, they love processes. They love systems that are in place. So you have to follow every process. If you apply for something, you must wait. If it's going to take you 3 months or 6 months, you just have to wait. And that was I'm a patient person, but opening a bank account in Sweden is another roller coaster, because first you need to get something called a personal number. It's like your, well, I say in Nigeria, like your NIN kind of thing. And if you do not have that personal number, you can't open an account. So you're just hanging there. And even before opening the account, I was told if you don't have a job yet, you can't even open the account unless you're a student or you have a job. About 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. But I think they are trying to make things really strict and, put things in place. So those are some of the challenges. But like you said earlier, adapting to a new culture, a new environment is very, very important. So you just have to adapt and find ways to tackle these challenges.
Yeah, I agree. If you talked about institutions that work. Because one thing that we struggle with growing up in Nigeria or in Africa is that we don't have institutions that work. With all due respect, we love our country, we love our continent, but then we don't have institutions that work. We are built to not be patient somewhat in terms of how things should flow in of itself. But exactly. You, when I came to America, I had to go get my social security number. I had to go get this. I had to go get that. I had to go to DMV to get license to drive. And when you're driving, you have to do a test. Who does tests in Nigeria? Who don't do tests? And just carry car and just enter a road and go and drive cars. So all these things are things that one has to adjust one's mindset to, so that you don't get you don't break the law or get offended by people's comments and all that. But there are habits or mindsets that we carry most times to new countries. How has your mindset that you had and the habits you had from Nigeria help you to adapt in this new life?
Developing I say a beginner's mindset was one of the things that I really worked on, because I knew that I had come into a new country, a different place, far away from home. It's Europe, it's a different continent. Their way of life is totally different. So the mindset that I worked with was treating myself with patience at first. And also with humor, because it's very important. At a point you might because you're far away from home. I mean, I'm here with my husband. None of my siblings or family members are here. So I just had to treat myself with patience. You have to take this gradually. It's a process. You have to adjust to it. And also creating consistent routines really helped me while staying flexible with the expectations as well, because I also made it a point to say yes to invitations when even when tired. I just try to, because if you keep yourself indoors and you don't want to go out, you don't want to, I'm scared of meeting new people, or how are they going to see me? Is my accent good enough? No, there's nothing like that, because I think that's one of the issues a lot of people face. They go to a new place and the mindset itself needs to shift. It needs to change. That's just the truth, because if you take the normal Nigerian African mindset into a different continent, it most of the time it's not going to work for you, because you need to learn how these people communicate. There are some things that you say to a Swedish person, it's not just acceptable. When you go to maybe a supermarket and there is a queue, according to the Swedish behavior and lifestyle, you have to wait for your turn.
True.
You can't jump the queue.
True.
So you just have to learn it. There's nothing you can do about it. And it has really taught me that it's really good. This kind of culture is nice because it teaches you patience. It teaches you that no one is above the other. The first time I went to Stockholm, a friend showed me where the prime minister lives. I was shocked to the marrow. Like, I was like, what are you saying? Like, this is where the prime minister of Sweden lives. It's a normal apartment. There is nothing fancy about it. There is nothing so special about it. Their life here is just, I would say it's very humble. Some people don't really like it, but I guess that's the way they've been for years, and it's been working for them.
True.
So that mindset shift is very, very important.
Yeah, I remember too when I came here, the first week in college, there was a friend that was on the big side. A new friend I made was on the big side, and so I said, man, you fat. You look good. You're fat. And everyone turned in the class and looked at me, like, did you just say fat? So I was wondering, why is everybody looking at me? And you could see his face becoming red, like. So that was when he told me that the word fat means it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And I had to apologize. I'm so sorry, because where I come from, if you're fat on the big side, means that you're well-to-do, you're well-fed, you're living large, you're good. Sometimes we learn the hard way. I didn't know, because honestly, from back home, it's a courtesy, but here it's like it's an insult. And so adapting to those new things and changing one's mindset is very, very important. I think your answers leads to the next question about community. So when you guys go to Sweden, did you guys find a community or communities that you guys adjusted to and that helped you fit into the lifestyle there?
I would say that for community, you need to consider integration, because one of the major issues people have when they go to a new country and it's not just working out for them, it's mostly because it's either the fear of integrating into the society, a new place, or they don't just want to integrate. So yes, I would say the first, because I'm very particular about the people I move around with. I'm very particular about the people who I call my friends or community. So we found community in church, and when we tried to find this community, we didn't want to just dwell on our own people. We wanted to mix up with other people as well. People from Kenya, people from Eritrea, people from other countries, and even the Swedish people themselves. So the church was our first community, I would say, and it was really, really lovely, because my church has the normal service on Sunday morning, and then we have the African service in the afternoon. So if you want to join the African service, mix up with other people, it's really, really great. And the community also is very important. I would say the educational system, because when I came into Sweden, and for the first before coming into Sweden, I was very okay with working remote jobs and working online, and I had a food business in Nigeria, which was picking up gradually. So when I came here and I started looking for jobs, I realized that, well, without the language, you're actually not really going anywhere, And it was a big shocker for me. And I was like, what? Like, I have to learn this language. And I'm not a language person. I'd always said that to myself, like, I'm not a language person. So I decided to learn Swedish. And for you to learn Swedish, you have to go to a school called SFE. It's called Swedish for Immigrants. They teach you the language. You start from a certain level and then you build up and all that. So that was also another nice community, because I met other people who also wanted to learn the language, women and even men, people from Ghana, from Liberia, Sudan, different people. But I would say the first community was the church, and it was really, really good, because they are very, very supportive. They know you're just new here, so you need the support. Yeah.
I think the church also is a very good place to start. Because when I came to America, I knew nobody. So when I got to the city I was going to, Springfield, Missouri, I Googled for Nigerian churches near me. And lo and behold, the Motel 6 I was staying, there was the Redeemed Church close to me. So I carried my 3 big
Wonderful.
bags. It was a Wednesday service. I carried my 3 big bags to church. I said, Pastor, I'm here. I need help. So the church took me in and gave me accommodation, and I went to school. And that's how I built community. Yeah. So I tell people, when you go to a new country and you're struggling to find people, find a church. If you're a Muslim, find a mosque, or find somewhere you know that your religious affiliation can help you out with. And so it's important. But Cassandra, it's been good to have you here. We'll go on a short break, and we'll come back from a short break. You tell us more about studying in Sweden, and we'll get to know you more. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
The I Go With Ego Pathway to Knowledge initiative is unlocking the potential of Africa's future leaders, one child at a time. This groundbreaking program is igniting hope and transforming lives by opening the doors to quality education for children who need it most. I Go With Ego, an educational consulting company, is on a mission to empower young minds and build brighter futures. Through their innovative initiative, they're connecting underprivileged children with the resources they need to thrive, turning dreams into reality, one child at a time. The Pathway to Knowledge initiative isn't just about providing educational materials or scholarships. It's about empowering dreams and unlocking potential. Every notebook, every pencil, and every opportunity they provide is a stepping stone on the path to greatness. Imagine a young mind filled with curiosity, eager to learn, and brimming with potential. Now imagine that same mind soaring to new heights, breaking barriers, and achieving greatness because someone believed in them. This is the vision that fuels the I Go With Ego Pathway to Knowledge initiative. But they can't do it alone. They need the support of individuals and organizations who share their passion for education and their unwavering belief in the potential of every child. Together, we can create a future where every child has access to quality education, where dreams are nurtured and potential is realized. Join us on this extraordinary journey as we walk the path to transformation with the I Go With Ego Pathway to Knowledge initiative. Let's make a difference, one dream at a time.
Hi everyone, welcome back from a short break. I still have my very special guest, Cassandra Ayodele, here from Sweden. It is good to have you here. Thank you again for joining me.
Thank you.
Awesome. Has studying and living in Sweden changed your perspective on career or even your identity as a Nigerian?
Yes, to a great extent, because the educational system in Sweden is different. The academic culture here, it actually emphasizes independent thinking. So you're not just depending on what they're teaching you in class. You actually have to put in the work. And professors and teachers, lecturers, they expect students to contribute ideas rather than just absorb information. So it has really changed my perspective to, especially when you're doing like a course that you have to think, you have to be practical. It's not just theory. So everything is hands-on practical. It has shown me that I don't think there's anything that you put your mind to, you want to achieve, that you cannot actually achieve. There might be hurdles or challenges along the way, but as long as you put your mind down, you know what you're going for, it can really, really help you. And there's actually less emphasis on grades here in Sweden, actually. And it's more on practical application and collaborative learning. Because there's something called PBL, it's problem-based learning, and it's very serious here in Sweden. They add you in groups and they give you problems to solve. So they also appreciate teamwork as well, because they know that no one is an island of knowledge. You have to learn from other people. So that's been good.
And I agree, because even here it's all about hands-on experiential learning, having to what you learn in class to be able to experience it in the real world. Because when we grew up in the schools we went to, you have to cram everything. You have to cram and get the A's, and it is weird because back home you have only one exam. maybe you have a midterm
Yes.
exam, then if you fail that exam, you have to go back and do that class again. That's
Exactly.
what's happened. So that's so it is different when you come here and you see a different system that involves you learning in a group, like you said. It's just beautiful. And I hope that most people that want to experience it can experience it in their lifetime, because
Yes.
it's important. All right. So what advice would you give to somebody that may be struggling to find a support system anywhere abroad? What advice would you give them?
Have an open mind. That's just the truth. Have an open. And I was just looking beyond obvious places. Like, you can join activity-based groups rather than just the expert-only community. Because the first thing that comes to our mind is when you go to a new country, I want to look for, my fellow people,
Yeah.
okay, people that were also in the same boat. It's not bad, but look beyond that. Whether it's, climbing a club or choir or volunteer organization, for example. Red Cross is a very nice organization that you can join. The Rotary Club is also very good. So if you can find that around your area, it's really good. And one of the things is consistency matters more than just the quantity of the interactions that you have. Because yes, you have interactions with people, but how consistent are you trying to fit in and trying to integrate into a new society? And don't just discount digital communities that can offer both practical advice and emotional support during transition, because you are actually in a transition phase, and then everything will be great at the end. So I just wish everyone great luck.
Absolutely. For anyone wanting to find information about Sweden, what do you think they can look at for? What do you think they should check to get more information about Sweden?
For immigration purposes, you can check migrationsverket.se. That's the migration services in Sweden. For university admissions, you can check universityadmissions.se, because they have just one body that controls everything about admissions in Sweden. You can't just go to the school directly.
I see.
You just have one stuff, and then so that's, I think that's a very good one. And for anyone who wants to learn the language, you can start with YouTube channels. There's a lady on YouTube, Slow Swedish with Katrina, something like that. Yeah, so she's really good with the languages. And
awesome.
I would just advise, if you want to come to Sweden, please give yourself grace and start learning the language back in Nigeria, wherever you're watching this from. So just start learning little by little. The little phrases, little words that you learn before you get here will really help you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. But before you go, I know you talked about your expertise in nutrition, right? You're nutritionist, right?
Yes.
Tell us something about nutrition, something that can keep us going and say, okay, let's try to eat healthy or do something, something about that. Yeah.
My number one tip and advice for nutrition is no one diet fits all. We are all different. Do not try to copy what someone is doing. Someone is having overnight oats every morning and the person says, I'm not eating carbohydrates, I want to keep fit. Please do not do that. Go with what works for you. Everyone is different. We all have different metabolism. Men's metabolism is totally different from women's own. So don't try to mix both. Balance is the key. Just live a balanced life and enjoy yourself. So you can have your puff and, small chops in moderation.
Right. Well, thank you so much, Cassandra. It's been wonderful to have you. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. All right, everyone, you've heard our guest, Cassandra Ayodele, talk to us about her experience in Sweden, and if you want to go to Sweden, what you need to do, and of course, her expertise in nutrition as well. I want to say thank you on behalf of everyone listening out there. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you.